Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Jonathan Coates, and in today's free SEO training, I'm going to be walking you through sort of a criteria system to keep up to date with Google's leaked, uncovered, sort of like their quote unquote classified documents kind of been exposed, their SEO ranking factors. So I got their algorithm uncovered, and that's why I kind of called it like classified documents. It's sort of like a confidential formula, but it's really not. If you kind of been paying attention over the last 3 to 4 years, a lot of this stuff is been tried and true because getting backlinks to your website, which I've made a lot of videos about, is really just the initial phase. You can get on the first page of Google within the first 24 hours. When it comes to stability and how to have your website rank and stay up there for months and months on end, it is worth sticking to a criteria system and sort of like a pre-published Google optimized checklist. So I'm going to give you one of those criteria systems here in this video. It's a very short document. You'll find this in the description. You don't have to put your email in. You'll get redirected here and you should see what it is that you see here. I'm also going to be sharing with you resources throughout the video to sort of go alongside with the document. And this also complements everything that I'm going to be talking about in each one of the different headlines. On the left side of that document, you have different chapters that you can click on. So all you got to do is just click on any one of them and take you directly to that section. So I have a copywriting tutorial playlist as well as an SEO strategies playlist. So let's go ahead and get started at the very top. This is for my SEO enthusiasts out there. I have some insider information to share with you about Google's ranking factors straight from their recent lawsuit revelations. And because of the fact that they had to give it more of an inside look due to the fact that they were having a lawsuit. So I'm going to go over this quote unquote leaked transcript and break down the key points. So as we've all known for a long time, but it's becoming more apparent and more imperative, content is king. Google has already admitted a little while back that they can't really determine and measure the actual quality of content, but they use other signals, sort of like neurolinguistic programming, as well as click data, such as signals, backlinks, and user engagement, because they can't necessarily measure it directly. But quality content is able to have people more engaged with your content in a consistent basis, as well as different signals like social signals, whether it's getting shared, whether you're getting comments, stuff like that is a signal towards the algorithms that it is quality content, because otherwise it would just be very generic and people would just gloss over it and not even engage with it. So that is number one and sort of the foundation behind everything. I have some copywriting tutorials for how to write letters that grip attention, plus a free headline generator. This is a really good video. By the way, it's in the email marketing strategies playlist, as well as the copywriting tutorials playlist, but it mainly goes over how to write letters that grip attention. And I give you examples from here from different books just in the last 100 years, from examples, different analogies, and it's a really good video and I go into detail, as well as a content factory that I have from the PLR store. I want to share with you from my home business blueprint, of course, just from that specific section in step 4. In the resources I mentioned in that video, I mentioned the PLR store, which is sort of like a pre-written content factory. Now, if you go here, you can use some of this content as inspiration for your current content to inspire and creatively borrow and be influenced to use work that's already worked in the past, as well as places like swipefile.com, etc., etc. But be sure to check out my copyright tutorial playlist, as well as the other videos that I have on the channel when it comes to creating content. Now, backlinks and user signals are pretty much a dynamic duo together. I have a ton of videos on backlinks. For the SEO strategies playlist, I show you how to get 604 plus backlinks to your website now, free, without researching the internet or spending any money. I also show you how to get .edu links from government websites or education. I'll also show you how to use Answer the Public to get more hyper-focused, laser-targeted traffic. And 2 videos that I really encourage you to check out: how to use Drop My Link, as well as the RAD formula, boost your SEO with the RAD formula and Drop My Link. Guest posts on authority sites to build backlinks. This is the first phase of ranking in the search engine. And number 2 is having user signals, what I was talking about earlier when it comes to social signals, interaction, engagement, click data. They use attention, how long people have been on the site, the scrolls, whether they're going up and down, And there's more, such as like neurolinguistic program that I mentioned earlier. This all influences Google's perception of a page's quality. So you want to pay close attention to all of that when you're creating your content. And overall, it just becomes really easier and easier to do, so long as you start with that foundation and have that checklist. And as you're creating your content, you just make sure you're going down the checklist. Did I do this? Check. Did I do this? Check. Did I do this? Check. So forth and so on. So you don't want to just rely on backlinks. You also want to make sure that you're doing the other part in order to get the user signals, which comes from having quality content and positioning it correctly. Doing stuff like adding visuals to your content, having H1 headers, bolding the text, highlighting it, having underline, just using all the tools in your box up here to make the content look more visually appealing and engaging, and add stuff like eye catchers, meaning visuals such as like images or videos. So when people scrolling down real quickly, it stops their eye, and having headlines and stuff like that. And again, this video right here is really good at that, how to write letters that grip attention. So this is going to help you to have a good basis when you're creating your content for keeping people's attention all the way through. Then the user experience matters. You want to aim for a score above 80 on Google Page Speed Insights. And I have 2 videos that go over this on how to increase your score on mobile and desktop. The very first video that I made about this almost about a year ago, I was having an issue with mobile and desktop. In fact, desktop, it was loading a lot slower than it was on mobile, just because of the fact of the images on my site were not compressed. So they talk about this here, and they tell you on which and where you need to make those changes at. And mainly because I just changed my website. I just added a bunch of different images to my website. So especially on my about section, I just added a bunch of PNG files, which really do slow down your site. As you can see, it's taking longer than usual, but if you convert it using a site that I'm going to show you here in a moment, you can convert it from PNG or JPEG to WebP, WEBP, and it really helps. It stores it on the browser rather than in the media files. So a lot of times it doesn't even load up until they actually look at it. So these images, these awards that I have right here in my about section, these are all images that are PNG, JPEG that I need to change like in the next week or so to make sure that my site loads a lot quicker, and I can actually get this score back up to an 80. I can get this to 100, almost 100, and on the mobile I can get this up to above 100, but anything below 80 is not that good. You want to start to make those changes. So I encourage you to check out the video that I have on that subject, how to decrease the load times on your website so it loads a lot quicker, and it just increases the user experience. And that's basically what this is right here. As far as like slow loading pages, it negatively impacts the user experience, UX. So you want to aim for a score above 80 on Page Speed Insights, and I'll have that in the description. Optimize the images for speed using a 3-step process: size, compression, and conversion. So this website that I have right here, ConvertTO, you can come here to convert your files. You basically choose the file that you have, and then you convert it from JPEG to WebP. So let me show you what that looks like here. So I'm going to go ahead and choose a file just as an example. So I got Miyamoto Musashi, the samurai image here, and it's JPEG. So all you gotta do is just click on this drop down, you go to images, and right here where it says WebP, you change it to that and you click on convert, and it'll go through that process, and you use that image and you upload it to your website instead, rather than a JPEG or a PNG. And that really helps it load a lot faster, so because every second counts. And then the purple cow technique for click-through rates: craft attention-grabbing titles and meta descriptions using numbers and power words. So when it comes to attention grabbing titles, again, I'm gonna have this in the description as far as like how to write letters that grab attention, but be sure to check out my copywriting tutorials as well. My neighbors laughed when I ordered. Now they all want a tomato garden. That's an example headline right there that's tried and true and works virtually every single time in every single niche and industry. Transform your storytelling with the proven BAB formula: before, after, bridge. Problem, agitate, solution. The PAS formula explained and how to use it. How to write profitable headlines and email subject lines in seconds for any niche or market. So check out these videos right here. It'll really up your game when it comes to the purple cow technique for click-through rate. A/B test your titles with tools like SEOtesting.com. So the purple cow basically just means do something that stands out. You don't want to just blend in with the crowd. You want to have that one cow amongst the herd that clearly stands out, the purple cow, for your click-through rates. And you can A/B test your titles in YouTube Studio as well as places like SEOtesting.com to continuously optimize for click-through rates. I have a lot of different videos in A/B testing, so I'll try to link those as well. And then last but not least, ethical algorithm manipulation. You want to share specific examples of your work and like do stuff like case studies and testimonials, share different experiences that people had using that same concept or process. And this encourages users to visit and engage with the content and foster positive user signals by offering valuable insights, creating a win-win for both users and your ranking. I'll have this in the description for your access, as well as all the other different tools and resources that I shared with you in this video, such as the Content Factory, the PLR store, where you can go to get creatively influenced content to be inspired from so that you can use ideas from stuff that's worked in the past. I'll share this video with you as far as the RAD formula, guest post, so that you can get more backlinks, page speed insights, the Convertio, so that you can convert your JPEG to a WebP, copywriting tutorials playlist, the SEO strategies playlist, and also be sure to check out my blog for more information when it comes to generating more traffic to your business and increasing your sales. So take a look at the tools and the resources below, as well as the pinned comment from the Affiliate Marketing Samurai. And with that said, I will see you in the next video. See you then.